present a guide on youth employment that has been developed by the Youth Employment Network, and also to offer an open debate among young people, youth organizations, and also different institutions and governments. I have the pleasure to share this panel today with His Excellency Joseph Sengimana. He's a representative of the permanent mission from Rwanda, so thank you very much for being here. Also Ms. Patience Stevens, who is the head of the UN Program of Youth from UN-Generalversammlung. Christopher Kornstad from the European Youth Forum, who is a bureau member in charge of global and UN affairs. Adina Rom, who is from the Swiss delegation. She's the youth delegate for the General Assembly 2007. And also representative from ILO, Elena Gastaldo, welcome. And Annette Richter from the Youth Employment Specialist from the World Bank, yeah, on the left. And Sarah Erdenbile from the UN Focal Point UN Business. So thank you very much, everyone, for being here. The main objective today is to present to you a little bit the content of the new guide that has been developed by the Youth Employment Network, which is a tool for youth organizations and for young people to work on the issue of youth employment. It's something very important that we have been developing with the Youth Employment Network in the last year, and I hope that we will have the possibility to debate and to discuss about that during this afternoon. This guide is also a resource for policymakers and youth organizations and young people in general. So I hope that during the debate also the youth delegates who are attending this General Assembly also will have the possibility to express their view. Now I would like to give the floor to Patience to open the debate and to open the panel and to have a little bit of an introduction from the UN.
Thank you. My role here primarily is to welcome you to this launch event and to launch this report, Joining Forces with Young People. I have the honor, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome you to this event, which launches the report, Joining Forces with Young People, a practical guide to collaboration for youth employment, which is a product of the Youth Consultative Group of the Secretary General's Youth Employment Network. We in DESA, in the Division for Social Policy and Development, in our capacity as a core partner of the UN, as well as the focal point in the UN system on matters relating to youth, are delighted to collaborate with UN in launching this important and timely report. Youth, as you probably know, is defined by the UN as those between the ages of 15 and 24 years. There are variations across countries. And young people are an asset. Youth, I'm using those equivalently, are an asset in the development process. But too often, they've been regarded as subjects for whom decisions and actions must be taken. It's the same everywhere, including in the workplace. In the area of labor force participation and employment in particular.
Thank you very much, Arturo. Dear Excellency, dear colleagues, let me first start by saying that if it was not because of my youth organization sending me to Guatemala, I would not have been here today. And when I was in Guatemala last time, I stayed in rural areas for 6 weeks. And the last 3 of these weeks, I stayed with a very poor family. I stayed with Don Juan and Dona Julia, with their 3 children in a poor community. I stayed with a family that had basically no income in terms of money, and their field where they grew corn was maybe not enough either. This family got a little support from the organization to host me and to buy food so that they could have dinner for me. But can you imagine to eat dinner when you have 3 hungry children watching you? You can't. It's impossible. And even though you always claim not to be hungry and you give away your food, so you go hungry to bed, the sense of hunger is not close to the pain knowing that these children go to bed without having dinner every single day. Unfortunately, Dona Julia and Don Juan are not the only ones. There are only 2 out of the 66 million people, young people in the world today, being unemployed. And This is why we, as the European Youth Forum, strongly welcomed the initiative of establishing UN, and also fully support the development of the Youth Employment Network, especially now today by launching this report. This is a global challenge. However, this is for us an opportunity to show how we work on the regional level, to show how youth organizations can support this process, and therefore I will take this opportunity to present what my colleagues in Brussels basically do to work with youth employment. We think that these guidelines show the added value of global cooperation between youth organizations, and after reading it, I would say maybe it's even a test that shows what added value we as organizations can bring to policy making in their employment. When it comes to advocacy work, we have to do this on the local, national, and also on the regional level. And I don't know how well you know the different processes that are going on in Europe, but I will try to